90-year-old ghost-attached mirror. Those who look in it become either paralyzed or insane. The old man's house had no mirrors inside. The caregiver thoughtfully hung up a mirror, but when the old man's wife saw it, she became very angry. She also angrily scolded the caregiver.
And you heard me, no mirrors.
Seeing the grandmother's reaction was so intense, the caregiver stopped hiding anything. She spoke directly and openly. She said she had been to the attic and discovered many witchcraft items. If she didn't explain clearly what secrets were hidden in the attic, she planned to resign and leave. The grandmother had no choice. She could only light a black smoke and tell the history of the old house. 90 years ago, a banker originally lived here. He had 2 children and 2 African servants in his family, and that attic was where the 2 servants lived. On this night, the banker held a party. Just when everyone was having fun, the 2 children suddenly disappeared. When everyone found the attic, they saw the 2 servants teaching the children witchcraft. The banker was very angry, so he united everyone to hang the 2 servants on a tree and burn them alive. The reason mirrors cannot be placed in the room is because through the mirror, you can see the ghosts of the 2 servants. Her own husband also became completely paralyzed, as if possessed after looking in the mirror. But the caregiver not only didn't believe it, but also said she had also looked in the mirror. Why didn't she get possessed? The grandmother said that with things like witchcraft, as long as you don't believe in it, it can't harm you. After listening to the grandmother's account, the caregiver remained skeptical until this day. He was about to give the old man a bath, but the old man kept staring at his mirror, so he tried pointing the mirror at the old man. It seemed the old man was really possessed. However, the caregiver suddenly had a brilliant idea. Since witchcraft can harm people, perhaps witchcraft can also save people. So he found a witch and described the old man's condition to her, hoped she could teach him how to break the spell. Following the witch's method, she chanted incantations while washing the old man's head with water. Before long, the old man actually started speaking. Although the old man's speech was still not very clear, his gestures were very clear. What he was actually afraid of was his own wife. Unfortunately, before the old man could explain much more, the caregiver was pushed out of the bedroom. It seemed this house could no longer be stayed in. The caregiver quickly packed his luggage and prepared to escape, but seeing the pitiful old man, she couldn't bear to abandon him. So she took out her camera and photographed evidence. She wanted to persuade the lawyer that the old man's situation was not an accident. It was very likely caused by the grandmother. But the lawyer said she was overthinking. How could the grandmother harm her own husband unless she could find evidence? The lawyer couldn't help either. Just when the caregiver was planning to return to the old house to find evidence, the grandmother seemed to have sensed it too. She prepared a table full of sumptuous dishes and invited the caregiver to have dinner together. The caregiver of course knew clearly that this was definitely a home and feast.